Bitches. I have a gun.
What? For what?
I want a gun.
My goodness. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. We're now going to look at Go Eat Worms and Ghost Beach, the next two on the list here. We'll start with Go Eat Worms. Ooh. They're creepy, they're crawly, they're totally disgusting. Obsessed with worms, that's putting it mildly. Todd is so fascinated with worms he keeps a worm farm in his basement. Most of all, Todd loves torturing his sister and her best friend with worms, dropping them in their hair, down their backs, until one day, after cutting a worm in half, Todd notices something strange. The rest of the worms seem to be staring at him. Suddenly, worms start showing up in the worst places for Todd, in his bed, in his homework, even his spaghetti. What's a worm lover to do when his own worms are starting to gross him out? And I think that's the word of this book is gross. Because even though it's not insanely disgusting, I think it was going for the grossness factor over the scare factor. And I think overall it didn't quite work out very well.
He's not a catch. This is like the kid that like you hear about in the horror movie who like he's like in his parents' basement with his weird collection of worms, and he gets more and more as the years progress, just more and more bizarre.
Yeah.
His behavior.
Yeah.
And at the end, we can see that it
turns into like Willard with worms.
Yeah, he's
Willy the worm.
He's like psychotic, like he has like sociopath tendencies.
Yeah.
He's
I do think that it wasn't a balance between, like, it was never a moment, I think, even in the very end, with the mother worm, I think overall it never even really tried to be frightening, which I think all the Goosebumps so far have either tried to be either downright just scary or exhilarating, exciting. Like there's some that were a little more of like a thrilling adventure than an outright scary experience.
Yeah.
But to this, I think was the first one so far that's really gone more for the gross factor. And I don't think it quite worked out. I don't know. It just was
It didn't work out, and it was just disappointing.
Yeah.
He was not a good character. The way he was written was just bad.
Yeah.
There really wasn't anything.
But it wasn't downright like just. I don't know. I give it a 6 because I found it somewhat entertaining in parts. I don't know what'd you give this one?
I gave it a 6 too.
Okay, yeah, because it wasn't horrendous. Like it wasn't like the difference between like Monster Blood 1 and 2, or like 2 really kind of like what the heck happened in between here. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. I don't think it worked out well going for the grossness
factor. I think it also
factor.
just kind of like dragged on at parts.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of forward momentum through a lot of it, which I had problems with. But I've noticed the different phrases that I think maybe we were too young at the time. They say drop. She was so scared she almost dropped her teeth, which is a weird thing to say. They also say the pits.
Yeah.
This is the pits,
Well,
which I remember that. But like
yeah.
I've never heard anyone say dropped her teeth.
Yeah, I never heard that
Dropped
either.
his teeth. It's weird.
But
That's super
moving on
weird.
to the next one, which I think was significantly better, Ghost Beach. Can you read back that one?
Do you believe in ghosts? Jerry can't wait to explore the dark, spooky old cave he found down by the beach. Then the other kids tell him a story about a ghost who lives deep inside the cave, a ghost who is 300 years old, a ghost who comes out only when the moon is full, a ghost who's haunting the beach. Just another stupid ghost story, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
I like this one because one of the things I liked the best about it was I think the history behind the supernatural element was interesting.
That was
it
the
worked
best
for me.
That was the best part
Like
of
that
this
really
for
because
me.
sometimes you don't really learn the backstory of it, or it's just, the backstory is just kind of like, oh, okay, it's more about the scare itself than the story behind it. And this, I think, the actual story behind it was interesting enough, and
was
especially
fleshed out.
yeah, and especially for being like a short like kids book, like a short story, it worked out really well, and there's enough in it that it felt like there's nothing really missing for me. Because some of them, for me, like there are some that it's like, even as a kid, I feel like I want to know more about that element or what happened here. Like to me, this felt more like a complete package and had a very chilling ending. Like I don't know, I like this one. It wasn't an absolutely like perfect. Like I wouldn't put it up there as one of my favorites. I give it a solid 8 out of 10.
8.
But yeah, I gave it a solid.
I gave it a
8.
7, and it was like barely.
Really? No.
It was like
I don't know.
barely
I just
for me.
I felt that it had a strong history behind the mystery. And I think that's missing in so many that I think that pushed it a little bit. But I think that pushed it a little bit further for me just because I liked that element, that how it worked fairly well.
The beginning dragged for me as well. It was very slow to start with.
To me, the slow pacing worked for the story that was being told. It wasn't a big, scary, like, I don't know, it wasn't like running through the woods, something chasing you kind of story. It felt like a slower paced ghost mystery.
But it wasn't, it was more of a mystery.
Yeah,
There was nothing scary, there was nothing thrilling, there was nothing, even the reveal.
Yeah. But I didn't think it needed
liked the
it.
German Shepherd at the end.
I didn't think it needed it.
There
I don't
was
think
a dog, but it was unnamed.
I don't think every one of these needs to have a big
I had a
terrifying
problem with
thing.
these kids. They go out in the middle of the night and they sneak into a cave.
Yeah.
A cave. What do they have with them? Nothing. Do they have a flashlight? No. You're sneaking into a cave. First of all, these kids are sneaking out of a house.
Yeah.
And the other kids sneak out of their house. Everybody's sneaking out of their houses. Did you ever sneak out?
The
of
other
your
kids aren't really sneaking out of their house. They're dead.
but
They're one.
Spoilers. Oh my gosh. But did you ever sneak out of your house? Your mom's not watching. It's fine.
Twice.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you get caught?
No.
Well, I'm gonna have to call your mother now. Oh my gosh, I never snuck out of my house. Oh, but you didn't have dogs or anything.
No.
I think that probably had something to do with it.
No, and you were.
My house was so loud.
You were also more of like a goody two shoes homebody. So, it's true.
I was not.
It's true. That's not appropriate. YouTube is going to demonetize this video for your inappropriate conduct.
Persona!
Yeah. But anyway, so Ghost Speech, I think, even though you didn't like it as much as I did, definitely better than Go Eat Worms.
It was much better than Go Eat Worms. This is, I also think, a very iconic cover.
Yeah.
I don't remember this story,
It's a
but
nice
I
cover,
remember
yeah.
that cover.
Yeah. But overall, two pretty good ones. Even though, like, Go Eat Worms, like, I went for the grossest factor, it didn't quite work. It wasn't a bad one. It wasn't one of the worst ones I read.
Yeah.
So, but next up, we have two that I know going in because she peeked at my sheet, which you're not supposed to do before we film this.
I know, I have rules.
You already
Do we have rules?
You already had an argument about this next one, so stay tuned next time for
Because there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's
there's going to be
fight
some.
to the death.
Who do you think's going to win?